So at this point, you already know about AI art. I'm not going to tell you the whole story about it. I'm just going to tell you how to do it with Midjourney. So once you get access to the Discord, it's an open beta, you're going to see a bunch of people typing in a bunch of prompts and they're generating images. I'm going to show you how to do this using a private client that you can pay a bit for, but all of this is going to be the same. Let's jump right into it. So to make something, just type in -imagine and then whatever prompt it is you want, like a penguin with a crown, not a ground, a crown on, and then you just hit enter. And you could get as detailed as you want here. So instead of a penguin with a crown on, and we'll let that process, and it will take a bit for it to show up, we could simultaneously, and you can run up to like 3 or 4 at once, I believe. We could imagine a penguin with a crown on, comma, and here I'm adding more information, colors, yellow and blue, so this should generate images like that, and let's throw in a realistic in there, and that should generate something slightly different. But you can see over at the first one, we are getting results, and every time this progresses, you can see this percentage, it's going to add more and more, or hallucinate more and more detail, and we'll talk about what we can do with this in a second. It's interesting that this one seems to be a train conductor. This one seems to be wearing a tie and going to work, but it will generate a bunch of stuff, and if you're not happy with these, you can generate more variations. Meanwhile, down here, you can see we're getting yellow and blue, and we're getting, I mean, ideally something more realistic once we get more hallucination. Either way, once this is done processing, we can take this up a notch. So let's pick a favorite. So it seems like some of these are weird. I feel like this kind of captures the idea the most. So we have tile 1, 2, 3, 4. We can take tile 3 and hit V3 to generate more variations. And at the same time, we're going to hit U3, which is going to say upscale. So U's for upscale, V's for variation. We want to spit out 4 more images of these and create a version that's more detailed. And already you can see this one kind of looks better. And these are 4 variations of that one. And here is the upscaled version that is being processed. And you can see how like this is incredibly fast as compared to drawing something yourself, right? You can just kind of do this on your phone or on a computer or whatever. You get the idea. So here we're getting a more and more detailed version, a cleaner version that you can right-click, save image as, and you get the idea. And here's the variations, or not the variations, here's the yellow and blue, and here are the variations of the first one. So you could say, oh, I like this one, and then upscale it, whatever. But let's do another prompt, and then let me show you some other commands that are interesting. So let's do imagine, and this is one I did before, so I know it works pretty well. Old man sitting at the bottom of the ocean, and then you could even inject a mood into it. Maybe mysterious, I don't even know what that means. And let's also add realistic and see what that comes up with. Again, any level of prompt, you can just kind of throw it into there. And while that chugs away, let me tell you about some other commands. By the way, you can just type in -help to find all these commands. So you can see we can generate a fast one, we can control the resolution, we can make it high definition, change the seed, stuff like this. But look at this old man. You can kind of start to see the old man, and you can kind of see the ocean, and we'll check back in on that. Meanwhile, let's generate using some of the new commands, a colorful sphere in the clouds, and let's use some new commands. So we could do, let's control the resolution, so you can see it's -- H and W. So we can make the height 200 pixels, and then the width, I don't know, 400 pixels. So we can make non-square images. We can also add in a -- not an equal, -- fast, and let that churn away. And let's check in on our, whoa, this man is old. And he's in the bottom, and this one seems to be riding some kind of skeleton or something like that. But look at the level of detail that we're getting out of this. So again, you can pick one of these, generate more variations, or go more detailed. I feel like this is the one I artistically like the most. It always seems to be 3. So we're going to upscale number 3. And meanwhile, you can see here's our colorful sphere in the clouds. It's already done because we did the fast command, and it's 200 by 300 pixels or 400 pixels, whatever we picked. Artistically, I like the first one the most, so that's the one I'm going to upscale. And you can see it's hallucinating more and more detail, and sometimes the final result you get is kind of nightmare fuel. compared to the first. It's going to like add more and more detail to the face until this thing gets kind of scary. But there are ways to avoid that. So really the name of the game isn't the art, it's the art of generating prompts. So you kind of need to guide this thing in the correct direction, and you get a feel for that pretty quickly. Some other commands that I think are interesting is dash ideas. You can literally have this thing spit out random ideas. So you can automate the automation. So you could see the Queen of Shadows, Abyss of the Spirit, whatever. I like to come up with my own prompts. I feel like that's kind of the fun here. And you can even like add like additional words, like instead of realistic, you could be like illustrated, pencil drawn, whatever. And you can do it in any art style, painted, sculpted, whatever it is you want. Only thing this doesn't do at the moment is video. So here's our old man at the bottom of the ocean. Kind of broke it up a bit, but we could do variations on this and upscale it more and, stuff like this. So it really is pretty simple. And here's our upscaled sphere, which I think came out pretty good. It even has a little companion back over there. Either way, that's the essence of using Midjourney, and that's it.